Hi, my YouTubers. So I'm finally back with another video. So my Ancestry DNA results have updated, and I thought I would make a video on that. I actually found that out today, and I knew this was coming. I actually wasn't sure if it was going to come or not, or if it was going to be updated or not, or what was going to happen, but it's updated now again. And there are a couple new things in there, about 2 new things that have popped up. And before I even go through this, I wanted to explain what my DNA result was before. So before I had, what was 39% Cameroon, Congo, and Southern Bantu peoples. Benin and Togo was 24%, Mali was 10%, Ghana was 7%, Ireland and Scotland was 6%, England, Wales, and Northwestern Europe was 5%, France was 4%, Germanic Europe was 2%, Native American was 1%, North, Central, and South, Southern and Eastern African hunter-gatherers was 1%, and Nigeria was 1%. Now, before I even got this result, the result before this one, Nigeria was very high, and I can't remember what the other percentages were. Now, when you go to the new result, which was some couple new things, you've got this. So Cameroon, Congo, and Southern Bantu peoples is 28%. So that went down. That went down. That went down. That went down to about 11%. Nigeria went up 26%. Nigeria went up to 27%. So now I'm 27% Nigerian. So Nigeria keeps fluctuating up and down. I don't know what I am of Nigerian because it always goes from a high percentage to a low percentage. Mali went up 5%. So Mali used to be 10%. So now it's 15%. England, Wales, and Northwestern Europe went up 1% because I used to be 6%. England, Wales, and Northwestern Europe went up 2% because before it was 5%. Ireland, Scotland went up 1% because I used to be 6%. Benin and Togo is 6%, so that went down a bit. Ghana is 3%. That went down a little bit. Senegal. Now this was new. Senegal popped up at 2%, but see, I did my first Ancestry DNA test in 2014, I believe. It was 2014. And Senegal did not pop up until just now. So for almost 5 or 6 years, I had no Senegal in my blood until now, which is really cool. I think Senegalese people are beautiful people, but I've never seen Senegalese in my blood, so I wonder where that comes from. I think I have some relatives up here who have it, but it's never popped up in my DNA results. So that's very new, but exciting. Germanic Europe went down 1%, so it's now 1%. France went down 3% because it used to be 4%, but now it's 1%. Now a Native American, actually now they have pinpointed a little bit of where I come from there, and it says Indigenous America is 1% Yucatan Peninsula. And when I click on Yucatan Peninsula and it takes me over here, it's Yucatan, Campeche, and Quintana Roo, or Rio. I think it's just Roo. However, it says primarily located in Mexico. And that makes sense because, again, we're Latin American and Creole on my mom's side of the family. And I know, even though 23andMe is a little bit more specific, like 23andMe pretty much has me at 2%, and it has other places that Ancestry doesn't have, it still in a way makes sense because on Ancestry you got on 23andMe you got Spain and Portugal and all of that. Here you just got France and all that, but it's a little different, but it's still in a way it's compares pretty well. But it says primarily in Mexico, which makes sense because, again, we're Latin American Creole on my mom's side, and we have Mexican cousins, so it makes sense in a way. I mean, that's all I can say. Southern Eastern Africa hunter-gatherers is 1%, so that didn't change at all. And then Norway popped up. Now, Norway also makes sense. It popped up as 1%, but it makes sense because I could trace that back to one of my distant cousins, Karen Moody, and she's Swedish, she's Scandinavian, so that makes sense. And a lot of my relatives, I believe on my father's side, have Norway. So it makes sense that I have that blood in my system. So that was really cool to find out as well. When I you got Iceland, Sweden, Norway. So when I went to where did I wanted to go down to here. I wanted to go down here, and I just thought it was really cool. You see Tanzania, and then you see Eswatini in South Africa. I've never heard of Eswatini, but I want to look it up at some point when I'm doing another video and kind of check that out. Senegal is another really cool place. It's really much just Senegal, Gambia, Guinea-Bissau. Now that actually makes sense, actually, now that I think about it, because 23andMe has me at Senegambian and Guinean, or Guinean and Senegambian, or whatever, or one of those. Matter of fact, let me go to 23andMe right now. And let me tell you guys about it. Because that actually, now that I clicked on it, it makes perfect sense. Except for Ancestry has me at a higher percentage than, 23andMe has me at a higher percentage than Ancestry. Yep, so it says Senegambian and Guinean 4.2%. So it has me as 2.2 more. Like the percent is 2.2% more, but it still makes sense. So I'm guessing that's the Senegalese. So yeah, Senegal, and then Gambia and Guinea-Bissau, which makes sense. Makes perfect sense at 2%. So yeah, I wanted to go over those, and I wanted to go over my new estimate. And yeah, that's me for right now, for Ancestry at least. So, alright, bye guys.